Ever get stuck like deciding between two things for your website?
Oh, yeah.
Like, should a button be red or blue?
Hmm.
You think, but it'd be great to have like data to back that up, right?
Absolutely.
That's where A/B testing comes in.
Hmm.
And today we're not just talking about what it is, but how to
Yeah.
really understand the results.
Hmm.
So you can make like smarter choices.
Yeah.
And the sources you send actually reveal a surprising truth
Okay.
about tests with no clear winner.
Interesting.
But we'll get to that later.
Okay.
First, let's get into the basics.
Sounds good.
What is it about A/B testing that's so fascinating to you?
What's fascinating about A/B testing is that the results tell a story about what users actually prefer, not just what we assume they do.
It's like having a conversation
Yeah.
with your audience through data, right?
Exactly.
And I loved the example from the source about testing headlines
Yeah.
for a sales engagement platform.
Uh-huh.
They were trying to figure out if boost your sales process or your sales team's ultimate companion resonated better. Super relatable.
Absolutely. And to decode those results, two key metrics stand out.
Yeah.
Uplift and probability to be best.
Okay.
Uplift is pretty straightforward. It tells you in percentage terms how much better one version performed compared to the other.
Gotcha.
This helps you understand like the magnitude of the improvement, which is crucial for decision making.
So it's not just about knowing there's a winner,
Right.
but by how much.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
What about probability to be best? That sounds way more complex.
It sounds complicated, but it's really about thinking long term.
Okay.
Which version is most likely to win consistently,
Right.
not just during your test.
Right.
This helps you make decisions that stick instead of chasing like fleeting wins.
Okay, so we have the results. How do we actually analyze them to get these insights?
Think of it like peeling back the layers of an onion.
Okay.
First, we have analysis. Here, we focus on statistical significance. Are the results strong enough to trust? Did we hit that 95% probability to be best benchmark?
Okay.
Did the test run long enough to account for variations?
Yeah.
This level tells us if there's a clear winner at all.
But what if the results show a winner, but it's not the whole story?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That brings us to secondary metrics analysis.
Okay.
We go beyond the primary goal, like clicks, and look at the unintended consequences. For example, one source mentioned a winning headline that actually lowered sales despite getting more clicks.
Whoa, so chasing one metric blindly could actually backfire.
It definitely can.
Wow.
Balanced decision-making is key. We have to consider the impact on all relevant metrics, not just the primary one.
Right.
And then there's the most granular level.
Audience breakdown, right?
Yes.
This is where we segment the results, maybe comparing mobile versus desktop users.
Right.
But one of the sources warned against overdoing it.
Yeah.
How do we know how specific to get?
Segmentation should lead to action. If you find a headline that works better for mobile users, are you going to change the headline based on the device? If yes, segment away.
Right.
If not, you might be overcomplicating things.
So it's all about finding those insights that actually let you do something differently for each group.
Exactly.
This is all making so much sense now.
Hey.
And now for that surprise you mentioned earlier,
Right.
the tests with no winner. Right. Don't leave me hanging.
Well, one source pointed out that in a world moving towards personalization, even tests without a clear overall winner can be incredibly valuable.
So there's no one-size-fits-all solution anymore.
Exactly. Let me give you an example. One company found no winner in their overall A/B test results.
Okay.
But when they broke it down by device, they found the control version won on desktop, while a challenger won on mobile and tablet.
So even the losing version could be perfect for some people. That's mind-blowing. I'm starting to see A/B testing in a whole new light. Why does understanding all of this even matter for someone trying to get things done?
Understanding A/B test results lets you move beyond guesswork. You can see if changes actually work,
Okay.
pinpoint why something worked to inform future tests,
Right.
and make decisions based on data,
Yeah.
not just your gut feeling.
So much smarter than just randomly tweaking things and hoping for the best.
Absolutely.
But are the numbers really all we need to consider?
Context is everything. Factors like sample size, test duration, conversion rates, external events like holidays, all of that can influence the results. For example, a small sample size can make your results unreliable. Just like trying to predict an election by polling only 10 people. It just won't give you an accurate picture.
Makes sense. And what about test duration? How long is long enough to get meaningful results?
It depends. Website traffic, complexity of the even seasonality can all impact how long you need to run a test. A week or two is usually a good starting point, but you might need to adjust based on your specific situation.
So many things to consider. It's way more nuanced than I initially thought.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
Another thing to keep in mind is that conversion rate alone doesn't tell the whole story. You need to consider it in context of traffic volume.
Uh-huh.
A higher conversion rate with low traffic might not be as valuable as a slightly lower rate with a much larger audience.
So it's not just about the rate itself, but also the volume of conversions you're getting overall.
Exactly. And of course, we can't forget about statistical significance.
Right.
That p-value under 0.05 is our friend. It tells us whether the difference we're seeing is real or just due to random chance.
So that p-value gives us the confidence to say, yes, this change actually had a meaningful impact. This is all incredibly insightful. I feel like I'm already starting to think about A/B testing in a whole new way.
Good.
We just touched on how crucial context is when analyzing A/B tests.
Right.
Thinking about those tests with no clear winner.
Yeah.
You mentioned that personalization plays a big role in this.
Yeah.
Can we unpack that a bit more?
It's a major shift in how we think about optimizing digital experiences.
Okay.
For years, the focus was on finding that one best experience for everyone.
Right.
But as we gather more data, we're realizing that's too simplistic.
It's like assuming everyone wants the same size shoe, right?
Exactly.
Some will be swimming, others squeezing their toes.
Yeah. Personalization means moving away from that one-size-fits-all model.
Okay.
Even if a variation doesn't win overall, it could be the perfect fit for a certain segment.
So audience breakdown analysis becomes even more important.
Absolutely.
We need to dig into those segments to find those hidden gems.
Exactly.
Let's say you're an e-commerce company testing 2 product page layouts.
Okay.
One with big images, the other highlighting product details.
Okay.
Your A/B test shows version A. The one with big images has a higher conversion rate overall.
Okay.
So at first glance, version A wins. End of story.
Not so fast. What if we segment by age? Okay.
We might find that users under 30 love the visuals of version A
Uh-huh.
and convert like crazy, but users over 30,
Yeah.
they're actually converting better on version B, the one with more details. They want the specs before committing to a purchase.
Wow, so even though version A won overall, version B is actually the better choice for a significant portion of the audience.
Exactly.
So interesting.
And this is where personalized experiences come in. If you can identify those segments and tailor the experience accordingly, you can see a huge boost in conversions. Instead of one product page, you might have multiple versions, each optimized for a specific age group.
This is making me completely rethink A/B testing. It's not just about finding one winner. It's about uncovering a whole tapestry of insights to inform our strategy.
It really is. Moving beyond simple win-lose scenarios and embracing the nuance of user behavior is where the true value lies.
What about those cases where there really isn't a clear winner even when we segment?
Right.
Then, that's when we need to take a step back and ask some fundamental questions. Why isn't one version performing better? Are there other factors we haven't considered? Maybe the changes are too subtle, or we're focused on the wrong metrics.
So A/B testing isn't a magic bullet.
Right.
It's a powerful tool, but it needs to be used thoughtfully and strategically. Let's get into some of those real-world examples from the sources.
Okay.
There were some fascinating case studies.
Absolutely.
One was about a company struggling with low website engagement.
Okay.
They were testing different versions of their homepage, specifically the headline and call to action.
Okay.
They assumed a more attention-grabbing headline and stronger call to action would lead to more clicks and signups.
Makes sense.
Seemed like a logical assumption. Those are the elements that usually draw people in. What happened?
Their A/B test results were inconclusive.
Oh.
None of the variations made a significant difference.
So what do they do next? Do they just abandon the test?
Instead of giving up, they dug deeper, analyzing user behavior on the homepage.
Okay.
They noticed a surprising number of visitors were scrolling to the bottom of the page where they had customer testimonials.
Intriguing. So the issue might not have been the headline or call to action,
Right.
but the placement of compelling content.
Exactly. Based on that insight, they redesigned their homepage, featuring customer testimonials more prominently.
What impact did that have?
The results were pretty astounding. Engagement skyrocketed, and signups increased by over 30%.
Wow.
It just goes to show that the answers are sometimes hidden in plain sight.
That's a great reminder to look beyond the obvious.
Absolutely.
And really understand how users are interacting with the content.
Yeah.
Ready to dive into another example?
Always eager to hear how companies are using A/B testing to unlock their potential.
Okay.
What's next?
This one involves a SaaS company trying to improve their user onboarding process.
Okay.
They were testing different versions of their welcome email series, hoping to find the perfect sequence to engage new users and get them excited about using their product.
Onboarding is so critical. It's the first impression a user gets.
Right.
What were they specifically testing in these emails?
They were tweaking subject lines to see which got the highest open rates,
Okay.
experimenting with content to find the right balance of information and motivation,
Mm-hmm.
and even playing with the timing of the emails.
Okay.
Initially, though, the results were underwhelming. None of the variations really moved the needle on user engagement or activation rates.
Sounds like they hit a roadblock.
Yeah.
How did they respond?
They went back to the data, looking for patterns or insights.
Okay.
That's when they discovered something interesting. Users who were engaging with the in-app tutorials
Mm-hmm.
were significantly more likely to become active users long-term.
So it wasn't the welcome emails themselves that were the key driver,
Right.
but the willingness to engage with the product tutorials.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This was a big aha moment for them. Instead of trying to optimize the welcome emails further, they shifted their strategy to highlight the in-app tutorials earlier in the onboarding process.
Oh.
What did that look like in practice?
Yeah.
They redesigned the welcome emails to emphasize the tutorials,
Yeah.
even incorporating interactive elements that would guide users directly to the tutorials within the app.
Cool.
The results:
Yeah.
activation rates shot up and user engagement reached new heights.
What a fantastic example of how A/B testing can uncover those unexpected insights that lead to truly game-changing outcomes.
Yeah.
Sometimes the most obvious solution isn't the best one.
It's about connecting the dots, understanding that the user journey isn't always linear. What stands out to you as a key takeaway from this example?
Don't be afraid to challenge your initial assumptions.
Hmm.
If your A/B tests aren't giving you the results you expected, it might be time to reevaluate your approach and dig deeper into the data.
Okay.
There might be a hidden gem waiting to be discovered.
So many great lessons here. Are we ready for another case study?
Absolutely. Let's keep exploring these real-world applications. What's next on our list?
This one involves a media company trying to increase reader engagement with their articles. It's a challenge many content creators face. How do you grab and keep the reader's attention in the vast sea of online content?
It's a constant battle for sure. What approach did they take?
They decided to A/B test different formats for presenting related articles at the end of each piece.
Okay.
You know, those you might also like sections we see everywhere.
I'm very familiar. Sometimes they're a simple list. Other times they're more visual with thumbnails or even carousels.
Yeah.
What were they testing specifically?
They started with 3 variations. First was their existing format,
Okay.
a basic list of related article titles.
Gotcha.
The second introduced thumbnails alongside each title.
Okay.
The third went with a more visually engaging carousel format.
Okay.
Their goal was to make those related articles more enticing, hoping readers would click through and stay on the site longer.
It sounds like a solid strategy. Did it work?
The results were surprising.
Oh.
The variation with thumbnails actually performed worse than their original list.
That is surprising. I would guess that adding visuals would improve engagement. What happened?
When they analyzed the data, they realized the thumbnails were actually distracting readers from the headlines.
So instead of drawing them in, the visuals were creating clutter and making it harder to scan the list of articles.
Right.
A classic case of less is more. What about the carousel format?
It performed slightly better than the list,
Okay.
but not as significantly as they had hoped.
So they were left with a puzzle. They'd tried to improve engagement, but none of the variations were home runs.
Right.
What did they do?
They went back to the drawing board,
Yeah.
drawing inspiration from those customer testimonial insights we discussed earlier. They decided to test a new variation that incorporated short snippets of text from each related article, almost like a preview.
So instead of just seeing the title,
Yeah.
readers would get a taste of what the article was about,
Right.
giving them a more compelling reason to click. What was the outcome?
It was a game changer. The variation with text snippets outperformed all the others by a significant margin. Engagement went through the roof, and they saw a big jump in page views and time spent on site.
That's a testament to the power of providing context and value to the reader. It's not just about grabbing attention, it's about giving them a reason to stay engaged.
This highlights something crucial. A/B testing isn't just about tweaking headlines and button colors. It's about understanding your users' needs and finding creative ways to meet them.
Exactly. It's about using data, To inform our creativity, not limit it.
Are you ready for one last real-world A/B testing adventure?
Absolutely. I'm always up for more insights. What's our final case study?
This one focuses on a nonprofit organization that wanted to increase donations through their website,
Okay.
a very worthy goal.
Definitely. How did they approach this challenge?
They focused on their donation page,
Okay.
specifically the different donation tiers offered. They wanted to test if changing the presentation of those tiers would influence donation amounts.
Interesting. So they weren't changing the donation amounts themselves,
Right.
just how they were displayed.
Exactly.
What variations did they test?
One variation used a more visual layout with icons for each donation tier. Another experimented with the wording describing the impact of each donation level.
Okay.
A third variation simply rearranged the order of the donation tiers,
Okay.
putting the highest amount first.
Okay.
They wanted to see if any of these changes would influence donor behavior.
Those are all subtle, but potentially powerful tweaks.
Right.
What did they discover?
The results were fascinating. The variation that rearranged the donation tiers, putting the highest amount first, led to a significant increase in the average donation amount.
Simply changing the order had that much impact. What was the reasoning behind that?
It's related to a psychological concept called anchoring.
Okay.
People tend to rely heavily on the first piece of information they see when making a decision.
Hmm.
By showcasing the highest donation amount, first, it anchored donors' perception of what was considered a normal or expected contribution.
That's so interesting. Even subtle changes in presentation can trigger these cognitive biases that influence how we interact with websites.
It's a great reminder that we need to be mindful of the psychology behind our design choices.
Yeah.
What might seem like a small tweak can have a big impact on user behavior. Ready to move on to part 3 of our A/B testing deep dive. So we've covered so much ground already,
Yeah.
from personalization and those hidden gems and inconclusive results
Right.
to the surprising power of subtle changes.
Mm-hmm.
What really ties it all together for you?
We've really seen how A/B testing can be applied across different industries and scenarios.
Yeah.
But what ties it all together is this mindset of continuous learning and experimentation.
It's not just about finding winners and losers.
Right.
It's about using data to inform our decisions,
Yeah.
challenge our assumptions,
Uh-huh.
and create better experiences for everyone.
Exactly. That user-centric approach is crucial.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
I have a challenge for our listener.
Right.
What's one A/B test you could run on your own website
Yeah.
app, or even in your personal life?
Hmm.
What would be the most surprising outcome you could imagine?
It's a great question to ponder. A/B testing can be applied in so many areas of our lives.
Right.
Maybe you're trying to improve your morning routine or figure out the best subject line to get responses to your emails.
The possibilities are endless. The key is to embrace that spirit of curiosity,
Absolutely.
experiment without fear,
Yeah.
and never stop learning.
Those are the ingredients for unlocking the true potential of A/B testing and making more informed decisions in all aspects of our lives.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into A/B testing results. Until next time, keep experimenting and keep learning.